Okay, afternoon everyone. Good to see you all here today. My name's Gordon Stitt. I am Business Development Director for SRL Traffic Systems. And that doesn't know it, there's quite a few in the room here I think that probably don't. I've been in the industry for over 20 years now. Probably one of my passions is make sure that vehicles flow properly. Well, that be permanent signals, I've now transferred onto temporary signals, and this is what I would like to discuss as we move forward today. Some of the factors that are key to ensuring that it all goes smoothly when we're using or choosing these applications. But good news and bad news, but when this was put forward and my name was put forward, we're asking for people who might present today. We had Sir David Attenborough, we had Morgan Freeman and me. So unfortunately, guys, the other two were busy. So you've now got me instead. So okay, let's differentiate between the two. What's a portable system? What's a temporary system? That's it. There's the ones that you probably toot the horn at and shout at, and the ones that you think never ever work, which are the ones that are peeled out on the side of the road. The temporary system, some of you might not be as familiar with, which is what we're seeing here, which is called our SRL Urban 64, which is the high end of what we can provide for temporary traffic management. What's the difference in that? Portable ones you can deploy at short notice, as opposed to the temporary ones takes a bit of planning, and it's involved in traffic signal design and implementation. Knows a lot of process goes through with design, looking at the road layouts, what's the traffic flows, how can you design that? That all goes into something that we do, and it's in the background for the temporary systems. What it says there as well is we're saying 1 to 2 nights. That has now changed because in the way that we actually build the systems can basically 90% of what we deploy can go out overnight. So 1 minute it's there, go to your bed, and the next morning it's up. Okay, all to do with how we do our in-house build now and the design. Portables, powered by batteries. Temporaries, we use the existing electrical supply. Obviously we can see the benefits there. One of the things that we need to put in place or let me make you aware of is people say, yeah, but the batteries fail. Oh, how many times? Oh, they fail. What I need to let you know is that should never be an issue. We now have a system in place called Track Logic, which gives you a level of battery, right? So if the battery goes below a certain threshold, it alerts the customer. And that's how simple it is. Should never get to that stage. If you've got anybody that's deploying out of there or the batteries have failed, ask the question. We now provide that as something that, so it shouldn't be batteries don't match up with power. Wireless technology, we're deploying the portable ones, yeah, they're easy, put them out, connectable wirelessly. We've got 2 systems down there on the stand, they can all be connected. Signals on the temporary, hardwired system, anybody that's not seen it, you can see the size of the pole here. These poles go to 7 metres and are hardwired out. Obviously offering a lot more reliability, and in terms of that, a lot more complexity in what we can ask the systems to do. So, pre-configured controller, safety gains, etc., and times implemented on street. This is a big thing for me. The amount of times on the temporary systems, the times are agreed with the council. Everybody knows we provide the design, we say how long it's going to go for. That doesn't happen so much for the package. That's not because we don't offer it, we don't say. A lot of the communication sometimes break down, and what happens is that information is not dissipated. The guys roll the products out in the street and they go, right, I'll put 30 seconds on that approach, I'll put 30 seconds on that. They don't, there's no science put into it, and what ends up happening is, and I've seen this in my local town recently, put a set of signals out, and before you know it, there's queues there, all because there's not been too much communication in terms of what the time that were existing. But this, again, when we go on to what the method of control is there, and what I'm saying there is the methods of control we can use. Basically, one of the portables, what people are maybe not aware of as well, you can have VA, the vehicle activated, fixed time, which we're used to seeing a lot. Manual, if somebody needs to be there controlling the lights. Then there's the fixed time UTC. Might not be for everybody at this room, or it doesn't, but in terms of large conurbations, if there's a UTC system in place, what you're happening is then you're giving the control over to the local control room, the people who have got traffic signals expertise, and they can actually then control the portable UTC. That gives an element of control. Instead of asking a guy who's only maybe been in the job 6 weeks to then control a set of portable lights. And there's something that brings an intelligence to the portable systems that maybe you don't know, not been aware. With the temporary systems, we can replicate absolutely any type of traffic signal control that's currently out there. And in some cases, what you actually see is that we actually, because it's maybe an older system that's in place, by putting in this new design, new timings, you can actually say that the operation of the junction is enhanced by the fact that we're putting in a new system. One of the things we've introduced recently is the fact that not only do we look at how we can design in what the base method is, we can model it. We'll work with partners who basically will take on some type of modelling, and then we can actually design out what your roadworks look like. So what we've got at the top there, you've got the vehicle flows as it would be on a mover control signal, a mover control junction. Sure. Two, what we're looking at there is we're modelling what it would be on a fixed time operation, where that would be with portable signals or temporary signals. And then down the bottom, what we're looking at is what we would use with the template with the up in 64. I'm not going to ask you to look at that and keep and identify exactly what we're seeing there, what the queue lengths are, but I think as you can see as it goes round, where you start to see the queues in the middle one, it's not rocket science. It's basically, if you're going to have fixed time as opposed to what was previously there, you're going to introduce some problems. But this is a service that we now offer. Something that a lot of local authorities are looking at is, instead of putting the lights out and waiting to see what happens, model it. Spend that extra bit of money, look at your network, decide what's going to cause me problems, what's not, and then if you need to model it out. I know the budget's not always there for that, guys, but what we're saying here is the service is available. Okay, I'll try and keep this one as brief as I can, although there's a lot of things here and within this that I would like to speak about. So, the location, right? The location is key. This is what we've all got a location we need to consider. But when you look at it, look at the location and then start making your choices after that. What's the method of control? What's currently there? Is it a three-way junction? Is it a four-way? Is there even signals there? So you need to take that into consideration. What is it we're actually going to do? How critical is it to what we have? Traffic flows. Are the traffic flows constant? Are they huge? Is it cyclic? Does it happen when the schools come in? Does it take into consideration what a day looks like, what a week looks like? Take it into consideration. What do we need to put in place here that's going to mirror that, or that's going to mitigate any congestion that we get? And the flows are key to that. Power versus battery. I've already covered off that. I've already said the fact that batteries don't need to be an issue anymore. We've put solar panels. Each kit is all our kit now. All the kit means that the longevity of the batteries and the portable system shouldn't be an issue. The track logic, giving you the alert when the thresholds are reached, shouldn't again be an issue. However, what we've got to consider is the fact that power is always the one that's going to be the best choice, and it's most stable. It's obviously gives you that. Here's the key one: budget. Who's got the budget? The amount of people I've actually spoke to today, where projects are already put in place because a contractor's bid it. He's bid it at a price, and then it's like, well, I've only got this amount of money for traffic management. That's something that probably you need to build in, or people need to build in at the beginning when they're specifying. They need to specify what type of traffic management they might need, because if they just ask for robust traffic management, somebody will just roll out a set of signals, or it might even be a guy with a stop that night. These are things that need to be considered. But the budget as well, again, conversation today, a local authority, I asked him specifically why he wouldn't put a temporary system in. He says it's too expensive. I've done cost comparisons over the last 2 or 3 months, whereby I know on a 4 to 6 week period, a temporary system can be every bit as cost effective as what you're seeing with a portable. And what I would say to anybody that bites or is put off by the temporary because they've heard the price is too much, get in touch with us, have the conversation, and let's see what it looks like, because a lot of people just have a perception that the budget's not always there. Network impact. That's down to the people, that's down to the local authorities, that's down to your network managers, the traffic guys. How much of a network impact are you willing to take? How much are you willing to accept? And that's basically a case of some people, it becomes more critical than others. And that's where it's down to you guys, the decision makers, to say, well, actually, I want the best solution possible. Or I can maybe put up with having a lot of the budget, but what's the best I can get for my budget as well? Safety is key in everything we do. And one of the things that I'll relate to safety on this, I did beat this presentation just in case anybody asks, but safety's in there, and I says, what does that mean? But one of the things we've seen with temporary systems is road worker safety. Because you are then allowing people to travel without congestion, without frustration, getting through a junction as they normally get through it. You don't have the people tooting the horns, you don't have guys in the vans rolling the window down, shouting out the window. These are things, this is the safety, that's the safety aspect that I'm going to basically put into this. Duration of works as well. I've just said there that 4 to 6 weeks is something that I would look at for temporary systems versus permanent. However, then our scenario is out there. One of the first temporary systems I put it out for a week. And the reason we put it out for a week, because there was no other option. Sometimes you put it in if you've got a really busy junction and it's got all the critical factors that we look at, what you're going to end up seeing is you won't actually be able to cover it with placements. It might not be something that's feasible. So what you need to do is, the duration of works is a consideration, where you need to look at what the network impact's going to be along with the duration of works. And pedestrian movements, I'll kind of come on to that as we go on with these slides. Construction plan down the bottom. As we said, portables could be moved about, they could be moved off site. Maybe the works are only going to go on from 9 o'clock to 3:30 in the afternoon to allow the peak flows. In that case, it's portables. When we're building up, spoke to Lyndon George earlier. Lyndon was saying how sometimes with temporaries, what you can do is you can create a cordon, and that's fine, and all the work's happening in the middle of that. Sometimes that doesn't happen, and what we need to do is we need to actually move the blocks. This could be planned in, but that all comes in under the construction plan, and key considerations while we are building. Cyclist movements. We can't create cycle lane with portables. However, we can do it with temporaries. So it's again something that's in an area that's key, it's got cycle movement, that's what you need to do. And maintenance, we cover 24/7 maintenance on portables and temporary systems. And one of the things that if you want to come and visit the stand, we actually look at how we can remotely access the temporary systems from anywhere in the UK, and we can resolve any issues that are going on 24/7 again.
That's it.
What I've got here is, and when I say modelling approach, I've already touched on that, but one of the things that we've done previously is, some of you will use it, some won't. When traffic signal junctions have been designed, to use a software called LinSig, and we use that in modelling our temporary junctions. So what we can do is we can actually model with the right data flow or the right traffic flows, we can model what the difference of these two looks like by using a portable system and using a temporary system. Again, a junction that we did previously, we modelled it using basically we were using the LinSig, and we took the flows and we looked at it, and it made the difference. And this is why the system only went out for a week, because we modelled queues using portables of 1.5 kilometres in 5 different directions. One of them was hitting a trunk road, one of them was on the main bus routes, and one was into a major shopping centre. I think we would have probably made the 6 o'clock news if we put that on it. However, because we had looked in it, because we had the science, because we had the numbers, we were able to do that. Now, looking at the junctions here, excuse me if some of these are not traffic signal engineers or whatever, what you'll notice there is we've got the portable traffic signals and we've got the temporary traffic signals. You'll notice with the portable traffic signals in this three-way junction, you've got 4 stages. On the temporary traffic signals, you've got 3 stages. That's massive, right? In any place, even if you see a car stopped in the motorway and it's 3-lane motorway, how much a queue do you see? Because it's just having some kind of impact. With this, what you see is there's an all-round pedestrian stage, portable traffic, portable lights, can only do all-round pedestrian stages. So every time somebody, we've got 6 crossing points there. Every time somebody presses that button, traffic stops. Right? 120 second cycle time, 2 minutes, and you're stopping the traffic, right? For let's say 30 seconds at a time. If you look at the temporary segments, we've got the ability to have dealt with traffic, which means through every single stage, the traffic's still moving, right? There's no vehicles stopped, right? They're still moving, the pedestrians are crossing. Yes, pedestrians are kidding these days, however, if we can try and move them in conjunction with traffic, that's where it is. And this is one of the approaches whereby temporary takes over from portables. One of the other key factors of the temporary system here is we can put a right turn filter arrow in. In that lane here, you can see there's a right turn filter lane. We can bring that into operation at the same time. Again, portable signals are not capable of doing that. So again, that would create a different type of phase and you would need to stop the traffic in the other direction. There's a brief kind of summary of what that looks like. Okay, westbound. I don't actually know what the 407 and the 300 is. I know it's seconds, but I don't know how long a period it was taken over. What it does demonstrate is 56% better at that junction using for the flows of the traffic, westbound and eastbound, 77%. The queue lengths, look at the queue lengths, the improvement on the queue lengths, right, by using a temporary system over a portable system. Put that into your network, anywhere in your network, and you would start to see what the differences are. It's not always possible to put the temporary systems in. It's not always cost effective. However, that's the data there. That's the kind of data you're going to see, and they're the kind of improvements. And for somebody with a passion for wanting to see traffic flowing, as you all do, nobody wants to be swift portable traffics. That's the kind of stuff that we're looking at. This was taken from a presentation we did previously, as was some of this, and this just gives an overview. Just look at the network as a whole. Down at the bottom left there is where you're actually seeing the junction we've just looked at. Look at the rest of the network. It's consistent. Yeah, there's red parts here, of course there's red bits, but we're queuing traffic. But consistently across the network, we're still seeing a flow, and you're probably still seeing the same flows and delays. If I put a delay heat map out there with the portables on it, you'll see it expanded. But what we're doing, we're keeping it to a minimum. So what it? What did that? There you go. I did have it after all, right? Obviously not done my homework properly. Look at the heat maps you've got there with the portables compared to what we just had previously with the temporary system. Up here, not as much red. Further down and all round about, there's where you're seeing major congestion in the network. Okay, just here, what we're talking about here is basically the reduction you're actually seeing in green type outboard in terms of, if we just look at this here, what with traffic, right? So basically what you're seeing is the green time with the temporaries, we've got 32 seconds green time. With the portables, you're only going to get 18. And as you can see, it doesn't matter where you put all-round pedestrian stages in. All-round peds, whether it's with a portable or whether it's with a temporary system, there's the delays you're going to get in your traffic. All-round pedestrian stages happen in every major town and city. but you do see times whereby the fact world with, and you can see the benefits that have. If you can move traffic and peds at the same time as our temporary system can, that's where you're going to get. So, technology offers innovative solutions to address congestion, sustainability and safety simultaneously. By leveraging data analytics, artificial intelligence and smart infrastructure, we can revolutionise transportation systems. Always reflect upon your project's contributing factors when identifying the optimal solution. Wow. Who wrote that? Because it wasn't me. At the end of the day, right, great words, magic synopsis, right? But what I would say is, and I'm not blowing smoke up you guys, right? You all come from different backgrounds. I don't know yous. But what I do know is, you've got the knowledge and you've got the technology and the power to make a difference and make these choices. And it'll just help. It gives you what you need to say. And I would just say, from somebody that's passionate about making sure that when we put portable systems out, this is what works. Take all this on board. If you need any more information and you want to listen to me for even 2 minutes longer, then we're on the stand down at the front, SRL. So thank you everybody for your time. Any questions? Okay. Thank you folks. Cheers.